We all know that one person who just radiates calm presence. Whenever you're around them, they crack jokes just like they don't even care if they land or not, and yet they land every single time. Whenever you're around them, they're smiling. It's like that you never even seen them worried. You can't think of a single time. And whenever you dare them to do something like that you would find scary, talk to a girl, for example, they just look at you weirdly, like it's weird that you even find that scary. It's like they're just playing life on easy mode, and it infuriates you that they find it so easy, and yet they're still addictive to be around. If you're anything like me, you've been trying really hard to become more like this person, but there's just one problem. That overthinking voice in your head. It's just too strong. It won't go away. This voice just costs you opportunities because you can't talk in conversations. Whenever you're not talking, you're stressing about what you didn't say, and it just messes up your life. I used to have this so badly that whenever I was in conversations, I would just be silent if I didn't have to talk, because the overthinking voice was basically just stuffing me away. It wouldn't let me speak. And so I had very few friends until I gradually began to push back this voice. I fought back against the overthinking voice, and I managed to stuff it away. It's still there, I'm not perfect, but it's weakened. And this is how I did it. The basic cure to overthinking has two parts: being able to notice thoughts and then dispel them. So quick note, overthinking actually has two parts as well. It has kind of time pressured overthinking and also slow burn overthinking. Time pressured overthinking is, for example, if you're in a conversation and there's an awkward silence and you're overthinking about what to say, that's time pressured because you need to talk, like to continue the conversation. You've got about 5 seconds, right? Whereas slow burn overthinking, you might be thinking after the social event, that silence was really awkward. I wonder if that other person likes me now. So that would be something where it's just going to consume your time. It's going to burn up your energy and your stress and everything, but there's no time pressure. You know, you're not doing anything. You're just thinking. Luckily for us, both of these types of overthinking are dealt with in similar ways, because again, you have to notice the thoughts and you have to dispel them. So how do you notice the thoughts? Well, essentially dispelling thoughts. There's a lot of more tricks around it, which I'm going to teach you in the B.E.T method. But noticing thoughts, it's really just building a habit of it. So I don't know if you guys have ever tried meditation, but when I tried it, it was like, sometimes it felt like I'd get distracted thinking about some random thing for like a couple minutes before I even noticed that I was thinking about it. And these meditation gurus who are just can meditate all day without, inner peace, whatever, Kung Fu Panda, they can just recognize those thoughts faster. So it's the same thing here. There's no hack to it. You have to improve your ability to notice when you're overthinking, both in time pressured and slow burn. So this is something you do by putting effort into it. And there is also a little bit of a trick, which is you journal at the end of your day and you think about, was I overthinking at any point? Maybe in conversations, was there any time where I was silent or didn't say something because I was overthinking? Or alternatively, is there any time throughout the day today where I was just not getting any work done? Could I have been overthinking in this time? And by doing that, by reflecting back, you're kind of getting that practice in noticing your thoughts. Now that you've noticed these thoughts, it's time to dispel them. It's time to end overthinking for good. And you do that using the B.E.T method, B.E.T. B.E.T stands for body, environment, and thoughts. If you can control your body, you can control the environment, and you can control your thoughts, you can control overthinking. You can be one with your thoughts and become like those charismatic people. A lot of people think your brain has to do everything. No, your body and the environment can do half the work for you, because just as your brain is a remote control for your body is a remote control for your brain. So how do you use your body as a remote control to press the off switch on that overthinking voice in your mind? You can smile, you can relax your body posture, and there's a couple other things as well, which I'll get to in a second. So let me just explain how this works, because you might be a bit skeptical. I don't know about you guys, but I find it very difficult to have really sad thoughts when I'm smiling, a happy smile, because obviously there's a sad smile. But if you're just beaming ear to ear and your body is relaxed, it's a lot harder to be constantly worried. And you may find that when you're worrying, you're kind of a bit tense. Like your face is very tense. Your body posture is a little bit tense, and other people can see that. It's one of the things that makes you less charismatic. But on top of that, it tells your brain, okay, we're going to keep overthinking. It gets you stuck. It's like the remote is jammed both ways. It's just a positive feedback cycle. And so when you smile, you end that cycle and you end the overthinking. And remember to breathe as well. And there's also some other things you can do. So in time pressured overthinking, remember, we need to act fast, right? So say you need to like end an awkward silence. It's kind of difficult to like start saying something, right? I don't know. I find it difficult. But what is slightly easier, at least for me, is to start moving my body a little bit. So let's say, again, you're ending the awkward silence and you thought of something to say, but you're like stuck. You're overthinking whether people are going to like it. What you can try and do is just open your mouth like you're about to speak. You maybe gesture to the table like you're about to speak. Just go like, and that will force you to do it. It's a commitment. Once you've done that, you have to speak. But it's easier to do that. It's easier to do this than to go, hey guys, and start talking. And at least give that a go. You know, worst case scenario, you go like that and then you don't say anything and you look a bit stupid, but everyone's gonna forget in 5 seconds anyway, it's fine. You could also do this if you need to approach someone, you need to go up to someone, just start walking towards them. And then once you've done that commitment, you don't need to think too far in advance. You don't need to think about what you're gonna say or anything. As soon as you commit to walking, you've committed, you're in. And it's a much easier thing to do. And if it's slow burn overthinking, the smiling stuff, the body relaxing stuff, that still applies just as much. You may not think that this, action would be able to apply here, but it does. Because let's say you're thinking about whether to contact someone or anything, just get out your phone and open messages, open the chat. And you could be thinking about, oh, I should probably like reach out to this person, it's been a while. If you just open the chat, it's a lot easier now because it's not like you're just, oh, I should probably do this at some point. No, you're doing it now. So on to E, dispelling your thoughts using the environment. You do this by changing your environment. Not literally like, building a house or anything, just moving your body to a different environment, really. So let's say you're listening to sad music. Maybe just turn that off, listen to something happier. That's gonna change your environment and your mood that you're in. If you're sat in your bed overthinking, get up, walk to another room. It switches your kind of state that you're in. There's a cycle. When you're in the same place, you think about the same things. When you go to a different place, your body, I guess, and your senses are telling your brain, no, we're doing something different now. It's time to stop overthinking. It's time to do something else. And now for time pressured thinking, and how you can apply this for time pressured overthinking is to be in the present. So right now, if I'm thinking about, oh, blah, 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 this person's not gonna like me, I'm a million miles away, right? I'm in my head. If I start to notice, oh, there's a little knob there, there's the numbers 1 to 6 on the dashboard. There's a tree over there. Oh, that car is actually the exact same car as mine, but white. Now I'm not thinking, right? Because I'm here, I'm in the present. And once you remove the overthinking and you're in the present, only then you can act. Now onto T for thoughts. How do we dispel our negative overthinking thoughts using self-generated thoughts? Well, for slow burn overthinking, set aside time to journal, to work stuff out. If you're thinking about whether someone likes you, if you've got 10 minutes a day where you're gonna think about that stuff and you're gonna write it out, you don't need to think about it all the time. You can tell your brain, hey, don't worry about this. We're gonna think about that between 5 and 5:10, 10 past 5 tonight. So it's all good. So that's going to be one type of thought you tell yourself, or it's kind of like a mantra almost. You're telling yourself, okay, it's all good. I'm going to think about this later because I've got that set time. Another thing you can do is to just tell yourself that thinking for longer doesn't actually help you make better decisions. After you've thought for about 10 minutes, if you're still not making any progress, either option is probably right. Or, you're not going to somehow magically come to some answer by thinking for longer. You've got all the information. You've thought through all the possibilities. Maybe you could sleep on it and then come to something new, but by thinking longer in one sitting, you're not going to get to a better answer. So tell yourself that. Remind yourself, hey, I'm not actually getting anywhere by thinking here. And that will help you stop and go do something else and become less stressed, spend less time overthinking. And one other thing you can do, particularly for time pressured overthinking, is to have kind of guidelines or rules that you follow. So every time, there's a silence, maybe you've got a question prepared that you need to ask. So ahead of time, before this has even happened, you've decided that you're probably going to do this. Like, this is what you do in these situations. So then when it becomes that situation, your mantra or the thing you tell yourself is just, I'm not going to trust the current me, because the current me is overthinking. I'm going to trust the me, an hour before this, who said, hey, when there's a silence, say this. I'm going to listen to that guy. He sounds a lot more smart than this overthinking guy right now. So don't let your current self have so much power. If you committed to doing something earlier, just do it. And if it turns out that it wasn't quite the right situation to do that, I think you'll find that that will happen a lot less often than it will work. It will turn out good. So kind of like the cost benefit is a lot more benefit, even though there is a little bit of cost to doing that. And then really just tell yourself thoughts about how no one really cares. Like, I'm sure you've seen plenty of YouTube videos on this. If not, I probably have one or two, but it's just like, people are not judging you anywhere near as much as you think. When you see someone trip over, you're not judging them. So don't worry about how, when you trip over, everyone's going to be judging you. When someone gets up on stage and tells a joke in front of an audience, you're going to be like, wow, that guy's so confident. You're not going to be thinking about how his hands were shaking ever so slightly. So don't judge yourself so harshly when you're not judging others so harshly. At the end of the day, even if they do care, what's it matter to you? The point is to have some friends, to get along okay with everyone else, to find a romantic partner, and it doesn't matter if some random stranger who you don't even like isn't the biggest fan of you. And the way you become close friends with people and everything is by doing stuff, by being a bit out of your comfort zone sometimes. So just tell yourself stuff like that. Again, that works for both time-based, just go, okay, I've got to do this, no one really cares. And for slow burn, just thinking, look, who cares if they don't like me? It's all good. And that will help dispel those negative thoughts. And if you're just in a happy mood and you've gotten lots of sleep and everything, this is easier as well. So this is another reminder to get sleep, please. So once you practice noticing when you're overthinking and then using B.E.T to get rid of it, to remember, use your body, smile, relax, use your environment, either act or, go to a different environment, and then think about stuff that's going to help you remove those thoughts, which I've just gone over. Once you do that, you should hopefully have a lot less of these thoughts, and you'll become a bit more like that person I described at the start of the video, who just gets along carefree and just everything is easy for them. And they can connect with people. They can become, just that person that people want to be around. So getting rid of these overthinking thoughts is actually most of confidence, but you can also just improve your image of yourself. Just think more highly of yourself. And I've got a video on that. Here it is. Regardless of whether you watch that, I hope these tips helped. Have a great day. I'll see you around.